Hello everyone. Today, let us enrich the wisdom of the mind, the life element within us that is formless, empty, clear, and pure. May we always remember that we were not born to be deluded by the body, nor to cling to thoughts and mental fabrications. The voice that I am speaking now is only a tool for communication. What we truly are is the mind, the life element without form. We rely on this voice as a tool, rely on images in thought as a tool, rely on moods and feelings as tools, whether pleasant, unpleasant, neutral, or calm. Even memory and the act of perceiving right now are nothing more than tools. At this very moment, hearing my voice, do we need to train mindfulness in order to hear it? Or does hearing arise naturally by itself? When it is seen as it is, then where is the self? Can we see that there is no self in any natural state? We are the mind, the life element that is formless, utterly pure, and crystal clear. This pure element never moves, not even by a particle of dust. It has no coming and no going. It is neither dark nor bright. It is not born, and it does not decay. It is the deathless element, ever present, right here, right now, always. In this pure element, there is no time, no distance. Nothing needs to be created, for it is already complete, full, and radiant within. This life element of ours is the primal source, the origin of all things. We only need to release from the tools we rely upon, and immediately we awaken to the pure element. Then we are freed from suffering once and for all. In this original pure element, there is no trace of suffering. I no longer doubt anything, for I have realized the immortal element, the element that we all already possess. We make use of this pure element in order to fabricate and learn from the world of appearances, yet we remain ignorant of our own pure nature. What ignorance this is, not knowing that we are lost in fabricated existence, never pausing to see the truth, drifting endlessly with thought and fabrication. We believe in the very voice now speaking. We do not see that this voice we rely on is itself just a tool, a thought formation produced by the mind. The true purpose of all these tools is simply to learn the mind, to learn the pure element already within. Once known and realized, the cycle collapses. All the seeking we have pursued over ages comes to an end. Then we return home, our true home, the home that has always been, pure, serene, and peaceful. It is free of fabrication, free of turmoil, free of every kind of suffering. Liberation is not to be found anywhere outside. The freedom from suffering already exists within the mind, within this formless and pure life element of ours. It is only when we hear this Dhamma, this truth, from one who has realized it, that we begin to see. I once sought liberation through many methods, in places spoken of with reverence, yet nowhere did I find anyone who pointed directly to the purity that is already within. No one ever said that we are this formless, utterly pure, crystal clear life element, unmoving and unshaken. No one spoke of this truth until the day I turned back to awaken within and saw the thoughts that spoke inside, the very voice I now speak with, the one that fabricates all things. I saw this inner voice, saw the thoughts we rely on constantly, without knowing that thought itself is the cycle of suffering. It creates the entire story we call the human world. This voice says, this is earth, this is water, this is tree, this is air, this is sky, this is person, this is animal. It assigns value and meaning to everything. We live upon this fabrication, upon this voice, without anyone pointing out that the thoughts we think and the voice we rely on are not who we are. They are only expressions, only formations of the mind. What we truly are is the mind itself, the formless life element, empty, clear, and pure. This voice, these thoughts we depend on, are merely tools for communication, for fabrication, so that we might come to know the mind. No one has ever explained this clearly. To say it plainly, this is the world of convention. The voice that speaks is a conventional language for communication. But the mind, the pure element, requires no conventions at all. It does not need sound to express, because this nature is already everything, the one in the all in the one. Our mind is the clear emptiness that is one with the very emptiness before us, one with the luminous emptiness of the universal element. Imagine erasing every star, every sun, every black hole, every speck of dust, all darkness and all brightness from the universe. What remains is the pure, clear emptiness that is the primal element. We are this primal element, transparent, free of fabrication, without any condition. No energy resides in it, nothing dwells within it, not even darkness or light, only the original pure element. Here, there is no movement, it cannot move. In this pure element, nothing can arise, and nothing can ever be destroyed. Here, there is no merit, no sin, no good, no evil, no wholesome or unwholesome states. This nature needs no language, no sound, no thought, no image, no mood. It holds no joy, no sorrow, no calm, no indifference. It has no memory, no perception to rely on. And because it has none of these, this element remains perfectly pure, just as it is. Do we yet understand what purity truly means? Purity means there is absolutely nothing at all, no material element and no mental element of any kind, no darkness, no light, no energy of heat, no energy of cold, no electric waves, no magnetic fields, no gravity, no phenomena whatsoever. It does not move, not even by the tiniest particle of dust. It cannot move. More than 10 years ago, I awakened to this pure element that already exists within us all. From then until now, it has remained just like this. On the day of awakening within, when I saw the voice speaking inside, there arose the realization that this very voice, these very thoughts we keep thinking, are what create everything we cling to. All along, we have lived by the meanings given by this voice. And then tears fell. Who could have known that this body itself is defined by the voice? Who could have known that the voice speaking in our minds, the thoughts arising? I must wake up early today. I'll stop by the cafe for an international breakfast. I'm hungry. What should I eat? There's a meeting soon. I have to visit a client. All this endless thinking. Who could have known that these fabrications we live upon are merely appearances, without any real substance? Who could have known that what we are is the pure element, and that this voice is only an expression of it? Who could have known that the images, emotions, and moods in which we sink, sorrow, joy, every feeling, are not who we are and not ours at all? I saw how thought gives meaning, saying, "These are my arms, my legs," even though the nature we dwell in never says such a thing. The voice tells us, "This is a lime tree," though it is only an appearance being known. Who could have realized this? Before, I too believed it, that this was a lime tree, relying on the voice to give meaning, and then drifting with that meaning. This lime tree has grown 7 years. It yields so many fruits. We always use them for chili paste. Indispensable. This tree is so valuable. The voice says it all. Who would have known that all along we have been flowing with the meanings given by this voice, relying on it, drowning in it? Who would have known that this voice is not ours at all? Who would have known that everything spoken arises only now, from the present moment? This voice speaking now. All the stories, even the lime tree, come from this moment. Right now, as I speak, the story of the lime tree arises, born from this present voice. Who can truly see this reality, that every story in this world arises from the voice speaking now, the inner voice that creates everything? Who would have known? When I saw this, tears flowed. The knowledge I once held, that all things truly exist in themselves, collapsed entirely. It was as though we had all been deceived, living in a world of convention, believing it to be real. But when it was seen that all of it arises from the voice speaking now, the thinking happening now, this voice that fabricates every story, that we were born, had parents, children, a poor and struggling childhood, a hard life until we grew and had a family. This very voice projects itself into the past, creating a story. Who would have known that the voice forming into words, right now, is what we drift into, giving meaning, entering into a dimension of the past. We flow into the very dimension of this present voice. Who would have known such truth? When I saw this, tears fell. The belief that we are human shattered into fragments. Inside, the mind exploded open, light, spacious, free, as if we had been trapped in the cage of this conventional world, and one day we saw that none of it was real, and we were flung out of it. Tears came, as though waking from a dream of illusion. Every time we think, no matter the subject, we create a bubble, a dream world. Then we step inside that bubble of illusion and continue fabricating, building endless stories within it. But when suddenly awakened, realizing that it was all fabrication, the bubble bursts. All the stories dissolve completely. What remains is emptiness, blended as one with everything. Light, spacious, and tears flow, as if losing everything once clung to. This knowing arose in me. I bore witness to the pure element after turning back to awaken within, seeing the act of knowing happening now, alongside the act of thinking happening now. This voice speaking is something known. There is another nature that knows this voice, the one that is knowing now, the act of knowing itself. It is like what you experience as you hear my voice right now. See it. Without practice, it already knows the sound. It knows continuously. It knows through windows. Through the eyes, it knows likewise. It knows by the mind, not by the eyes. The eyes are only windows. The mind creates the act of knowing as a tool. We have created the knowing as a tool, created thought as voice for communication, created images for communication, created moods of liking, disliking, neutrality, calm, joy, sorrow, endless emotions as tools for communication. Yet we have clung to these tools, clung to these fabrications until they became habitual, and we have forgotten that what we are is the mind, the life element that is empty, clear, and pure. We have forgotten our own pure nature and lost ourselves in the world of fabrication. I saw the knowing that knows itself in this way. I saw the thinking that thinks by itself. All the emotions concoct themselves, appear by themselves, and dissolve by themselves continuously. I have seen this at every moment of mind, every fraction of a second, from waking to sleeping. Even while asleep I would see it, until it exploded into fragments. Why did it explode? A realization arose that what is known now is not us, who know, and it knows all the time. It sees the one that is knowing. It does its own work. Where then is the self? It exploded, like throwing a bomb into the chest, and everything shattered. Body, thought, imagination, emotion, the act of knowing, all burst into pieces. A wonder occurred. Only the clear, pure emptiness remained, one that swallows the whole universe. Bright and clear, everything is seen and known. That inner brightness is wisdom, awakening. It is nature, merely an activity of our mind that radiates out so we can know everything. A knowing without language arose. This knowing has no words, yet it is exceedingly subtle. A knowing that is one with the empty space of the entire universe, revealing that we all are mind. All of us have fashioned fabrications to wrap ourselves like bubbles, and we become trapped inside those conventions we create. Like drifting bubbles, they cling to the vessels of bodies of water creatures, land creatures, winged creatures, underground creatures, beings in the air, beings in space. Our mind, our spirit, is like a bubble that attaches to material forms and becomes that creature. We cling to being various kinds of aquatic animals, various land animals, subterranean animals, birds, beings of the air and of space. We cling to being human in different countries. We have forgotten that we are the formless life element, empty, clear, and pure. From birth we are taught that this is our body, these are our parents, children, relatives, home, car, possessions. We are taught to think and remember, and to use language to communicate. We are taught to believe we are human, to make a living, to struggle, compete, kill, and destroy one another. We are taught to oppress each other, but no one told us that this body is not our body, that we are the pure element. We reside in this vessel. We inhabit this body. We change bodies often. When this body breaks down and dies, the very pure life element of ours, which had formed its fabrications, perceptions, thoughts, and sensations like a bubble around itself, moves on to cling to a new vessel, most often becoming another animal. We have been every kind of creature, from the smallest to the largest. We have been lost as many different animals. When we were aquatic beings, we forgot humanity and believed we were water creatures with parents, children, and families. We had countless offspring. Each time we changed bodies, we gained new parents, new children, new families, new relatives. We formed families and species that multiplied into millions upon millions, an infinity of offspring. We have taken on many bodies. So then, what are we really? How do you feel hearing this? When you were a dog, you felt like a dog. When you were a frog, you felt like a frog. When you were a bird, you felt like a bird. What then are we truly? We have had so many parents. In truth, every being in this world has once been our parent, and we have once been their parent. We have been children, grandchildren, friends, siblings, shifting roles through all the conventions that shape them. We have been entangled with one another in every way. Who would know that we have changed bodies so many, many times? The point is, what do we actually want? Why is our spirit so ignorant, taking birth in various vessels and clinging endlessly to them? Suppose we are born as an underwater creature. We then learn the ways of that underwater world completely. But when that body dies, we lose all that knowledge, all wealth, all food, all the places we once clung to, all the families we loved. We lose them all. Yet in truth, we did not lose anything, because those things were never ours from the start. Do you understand this? We are the empty, clear, pure element. Yet we take up residence in the bodily vessel of an aquatic creature, and then believe that this is our parents, our children, our relatives, our possessions, our territory, that this is our knowledge of the underwater world. We cling to what is not us, as if it were ours. When the body disintegrates and dies, suppose we are reborn as a land animal. We then assign meaning that we have lost all the knowledge of the aquatic realm. In truth, we have lost nothing, let me tell you, because those things were never ours from the start. Who here can understand this? We say we have lost our parents, yet we never truly had parents. The pure empty element, the clear emptiness that is before us, cannot have parents. Do you understand this? This very pure empty element cannot be created by anyone, and no one can destroy it. In short, it never arose and it never disintegrated. I say this so humans may understand. We did not truly come into being. We only inhabit vessels to learn that we are the pure element, and then we will no longer cling to any vessel. If we awaken fully within and realize that what is knowing simply knows by itself, that the thoughts that speak do so of their own accord, that emotions act and dissolve on their own, then these states are not us. When our pure element accepts this truth, it bursts forth, and we will know for ourselves. Imagine that we put on this bodily outfit. We wear 2 layers. The first layer is formless. We create a form first, a form of fabrication, like a bubble that envelops the emptiness. Inside that bubble is the emptiness, which is our mind. The bubble itself is the fabricated activity we made to cover ourselves. It is like electrons, protons, and neutrons orbiting a nucleus. If we are the nucleus, the electrons, protons, and neutrons are the fabrications. Do you understand? We are nothing miraculous. We are the elemental nature that already exists. This element fills the universe. We are minds that are one with the emptiness of the cosmos. There are only countless such minds. What we lack is knowing. We do not know that we are this pure element, so we must create acts of perception, fabricated formations, to wrap ourselves, to take on a shape, and then move to inhabit vessels in order to learn. We ourselves have created a subtle body called the body of fabrication, forming a layer of knowing that wraps around us like a bubble. Imagine, if there were no bubble, we could not perceive, we could not fabricate, for there would be only vast emptiness. In order to perceive and fabricate, a form must arise. So we generate a field of energy that encloses us like a bubble. Once the bubble forms, perception becomes possible. When something touches the surface of the bubble, there is contact. Awareness stirs, a ripple at the mind's edge. Picture a bubble. When it ripples with perception, that ripple reflects and generates the effect of fabricated energy. Once this form of fabrication is present, it ripples and is drawn toward a vessel, the physical body. Thus, from the subtle body, the bubble, we have the first layer. We wear this first layer, and then it adheres to the second layer, the coarse body, the mass of flesh, whether animal or human. In this way, we seem to have 2 layers. But truly, we are the empty life element dwelling within. The property of the bubble that surrounds us is called fabrication, and this fabrication makes perception possible. Right now, you are perceiving my voice. Do you see? You do not need to intend to hear. It is already known by itself. Awareness is continuous. Where is the self? Can you see that it knows on its own, without a me to know? Whoever sees this may experience an eruption inside, tears flowing, the sense of I completely dissolved. In truth, there has never been a self born into this world. Even the world itself vanishes into vast openness, merging into the cosmos. Whoever breaks through like this finds true freedom. For me, it is constant. No trace of doubt remains. With no form, there is nothing to suffer. This is why I tell you, we created the subtle body, the layer of fabrication, enclosing ourselves in a bubble. So the voice you hear me speaking now is only the vibration of that bubble. I give this analogy to make it easy to understand. This present perception, hearing this voice now, is the sound striking the surface of your bubble. That is its function, to register contact. When contact is registered, the bubble ripples, Understand this language, the inner voice that speaks in thought. That is the ripple of the bubble. Whatever thought it may be, thinking of paying debts, rent, a house installment, a car payment, getting the car inspected, stopping at the noodle shop, visiting your child, visiting your mother, renovating the house. Thinking goes on and on. We believe these thoughts, not realizing they all arise from the inner voice speaking in the mind right now. In this very moment, this voice is creating stories. Whoever can see this will know. This is the ripple of the bubble. Every time we think, a ripple arises in this very moment. Every time we imagine, say picturing a fish steaming in the kitchen, we see the image, don't we? Yet that picture exists only now, within the act of thought and imagination. As soon as we imagine, we sink into the realm of that story. When awareness returns, we realize, thought arises now, and the image arises now. But if awareness is absent, we are swept away into the realm of that image, that sound. Do you see? We flow into the world of voices and pictures, absorbed in a dream, without knowing we are dreaming. We have created fabricated activity to wrap around ourselves like a bubble. This is the subtle body we wear as the first layer. Without such a layer, we cannot learn, for we have no form. So we take on this subtle body, the bubble, to envelop the mind. As long as we cling to these phenomena as though they are truly real, it means we are still wearing that first garment. But if we see that these phenomena have no real existence, that the voice speaking now has no real existence, then we can recognize that it is not actually a voice, and no one is speaking. Who can see this? If we see that this voice is not us, that it is only something that ripples, something undefined, something with no value for us, then we see it for what it is, a danger, a source of endless stories that drag us down. We can see it in any way, as suffering, as not self, as unreal, as the maker of confusion, as worthless. Anyone with some wisdom may see this voice like the wind, without worth. However it is seen, if we loosen our grip even a little, wisdom arises, not by trying to let go, but through realization. This voice is of no value. At that moment of realization, the bubble bursts. Then we become the empty, pure element that merges with the whole universe. Finished. No more suffering. Now continue. Whether it is this voice or imagination, both are ripples of the bubble. When we think or imagine, emotions follow. Thought brings another ripple, called pleasure, satisfaction, or happiness. And what do we all want? We want happiness, not suffering. That too is a ripple. We sink into it. Whoever hears this and feels tears fall, sensing we've been deceived, that nothing at all truly exists, such a one feels suddenly lighter, freer. Congratulations. Listen further. We are not human. We are the pure element. We have never been born into this world. This world is fabrication, our rippling. I too use this voice, rippling, to tell you, we have no form, no self. We are pure, clear essence. Can you understand this? Whenever we think and imagine, and it turns out as imagined, a ripple arises, called happiness. We sink into it, into its meaning, into the dimension of happiness, into the story contained in happiness. But if we recognize, in this very moment, that this happiness is only an arising state, we step free from that dimension at once. And when we think and imagine, but it does not turn out as imagined, then the opposite ripple arises, dissatisfaction, suffering. Do you notice? Pleasure and pain, the states we call happiness and suffering, are the same thing. They are merely ripples. When we are angry and when we laugh, they are the same. Who can see this? Whether we are calm or agitated, these moods are the same. Just states, just ripples. Can anyone see that however it thinks, however it imagines, however it feels, whatever the emotion, it is only the bubbles ripple, the movement of the mind? Do you understand that we have become lost in these ripples? They are deceptive fabrications, always paired, positive and negative poles. They fabricate into pleasure and then fabricate into suffering, into goodness and into wrongdoing. Can anyone see that everything is merely a ripple, that it has no true existence? When this knowing arises, that it is unreal, the whole thing collapses in the mind, leaving only emptiness, nothingness. Tears fall. If you understand this, rejoice. The bubble's ripples become inner voice, image, emotion. I have already explained this. Now, ripples are memory. Ripples are acts of knowing. Something touches and there is thinking, imagining, emotion. Whether it is an inward thought or an outer impression, it is always perceived. Even thinking in the mind is known. Even imagining in the mind is known. Even the emotions inside are known. If a loud sound from outside strikes, it is known. If an image appears, it is known. Do you see? The function is knowing. The bubble that wraps the emptiness registers whatever touches it. Everything ripples. The first time it is touched, it already knows, and then it ripples into thought, image, emotion, into memory and continuity. All of this I have described. These are formations. They are not us. They are the bubble's activity, and they do not truly exist. If anyone can see that all of this, whatever form the ripple takes, arises only from the present moment, arising right now, and that it is merely an event, only an arising, then they will recognize that what we call the voice, whether spoken aloud or arising inwardly, is really just something arising, and then it passes. Do not be swept away by its meaning. Even if you are swept away by meaning, let it go. Nothing is gained or lost. When we sink into thought, when we sink into imagination, when we sink into emotions, when we sink into what is known, whatever form it takes, all of it is only the ripple of the bubble. It is not us. It has no self, no body, no form. It is only an occurrence. Who can see this? See that it is like wind, the wind of sound. What value does it have? It comes and it goes. The wind of imagination comes and goes. The wind of emotion, joy passes like the wind. Suffering passes like the wind. Calm, neutrality, turmoil, satisfaction, dissatisfaction, anger, hatred, resentment, happiness, sorrow, all of them are just winds that blow past, without an owner, without self. Whoever sees in this way, what is there left to suffer? Such a one is already above suffering, beyond everything. Even the act of knowing now is not us who know. Even saying, I understand, is only another event. Who can see that no one truly understands anything? There is only nature performing the act of understanding, computing by itself, and then it too passes like the wind. All we need is to see that none of it is real. Every ripple of fabrication is not us, not ours. It is as if there is no me in this world at all, only events occurring by themselves. Nothing can be clung to. When this is understood deeply, over and over, until it is accepted, the bubble bursts. Then we are weightless, spacious, one with the whole universe. Tears fall unceasingly. It is complete. This is practice. Listen and incline the mind. Observe, accept, and suddenly awaken. This is the practice. There is nothing to practice anywhere else. No need to trouble the body. No need to seek special places. It has nothing to do with the body. It is about listening and observing within, awakening within. When we know naturally, nature knowing nature, there is no need to force, no need to stare, no need to strain. Listen gently, let it know by itself. However much it knows, that is enough. However much it understands, that is enough. Just keep on knowing, keep on understanding. Do not try. If we try to know, then a self appears. See? A shape of self comes into being. Instead, just glance lightly, just observe, just listen, and let understanding arise. Understand, then let it go. Understand, then let it pass. Understand again and again, until acceptance dawns. Then suddenly, there is no me at all, and the bubble bursts open. This happens naturally. This is the subtle body we inhabit, the bubble that wraps our pure element. When we rely on this fabrication, it moves to cling to a coarse body. Then we think and give meaning. This is my body. I am male. I am female. It is only the ripple of the bubble that assigns meaning to the body. This body itself cannot say anything. The leg does not declare itself to be a leg. Do you see? It is only the ripple of the bubble that fabricates the idea. This is my left leg, my right leg, my arm, my torso. The voice speaking in the mind, the thought rising in the heart. That is what gives the meaning. That is what fabricates continuously, saying, "This is my body." If we were to remove the mind, the spirit, the bubble from this body, then even with a mouth, it could not speak. Even with a brain, it could not think. Even with a heart, it would not beat. The body would decay immediately. The body functions only because the mind inhabits it. When the body dies, if the spirit has not awakened to its pure element, it drifts on to attach and identify with yet another form, becoming this or that creature again. Thus we wander in birth and death through the cycle of beings without end. We cling. This is my body. This is my home, my car, my parents, my family. And when death approaches, we say, "I am losing everything I have." When we are reborn as an animal, we say, "I have lost my human life, my wealth, my family, my spouse, all has been lost." But I tell you, we have never lost anything, because nothing was ever ours in the first place. Do you understand? We only came to borrow this body, yet we said, "This is my body." When the body ends, we say, "I have lost my body," but it was never ours to begin with. Who can see this? Some people cling to land, to money, to property, thinking it is theirs, but it never was. We ourselves imagined and claimed it. This is me, this is mine. Do you understand? We only dwell in a vessel that was never ours. It is as though we borrowed it. We borrowed the body. We borrowed voice, imagination, emotions, perception. We borrowed them so that we might fabricate, experience, and learn, so that we might understand that we are the pure element. Once we realize that the body is not us, that voice, imagination, emotion, and perception, the tools we have borrowed for so long, are not us. We see the truth. They act on their own. They speak on their own. We only need to see clearly that they do so by themselves. Thought thinks by itself. The inner voice speaks by itself. They are only natural events, not us. Do not suffer over them. Let them do their work. Let the body, let thought, let emotion act in the conventional world. Live in it, but do not cling. Use life, but do not seize it as I am the one living. Do not grasp at I am the one who suffers. I am the one who is happy. Do you see? It already knows. It has passed. Now it is touched and becomes glad. It is glad and it passes, right? Suppose sadness arises and touches you, and there is suffering. It manifests. It does its work, and then it is finished. like the wind that blows by and then passes. In the daytime it appears, does its work, and dissolves. At night it does its work and dissolves. It has done its function. The body does its aging, its pain, its dying. It has done its function. And this voice also does its function. See? The images do their function. Pleasant feelings do their function. Painful feelings do theirs. Calm, satisfaction, they all do their work. Memory does its work. Forgetting does its work. The one that knows now also performs its knowing, right? It knows my voice now. See how it knows by itself. See that these processes do their work, and there is no I in them. Let us not stubbornly cling and insist that it is me. If we see clearly that all these things are simply doing their work, with no I present, then there is lightness and spaciousness. Nothing remains to cling to. The things we temporarily borrow and reside in, when we no longer rely on them. The bubble bursts. Because we no longer inhabit it, we are satisfied. We know these are natural processes doing their own work. We are not involved. Then the bubble explodes, and we become emptiness, merging with the universe of elements as before, returning home to our true dwelling. It is time to go home. Are we ready to go? We only borrowed these things. Do not cling to them as ours. Do not cling to the voice. I only use the voice for communication. You have already perceived and understood. It is finished. They have done their work. See? There is no I in any of these processes. See? Put down all the things you cling to. Put down the constant inner chatter, the thoughts you claim as my thinking. Let go of those thoughts. Let them perform their functions freely. Let the images, the feelings, all perform their functions freely. Do not cling and identify them as me. Allow memory and the acts of knowing to do their functions of perceiving and remembering. We merely borrow and temporarily use them in order to know the truth. That is all. When each of us returns to our nature, we will realize the pure, formless, clear, deathless element of life that we are. We will go home and be one with the empty cosmos as before. We will not suffer again over anything, because there never was an I from the beginning. We will not cling to or claim anything as mine. We have lost nothing, for nothing was ever ours from the start. I will end here for today. May all of us who incline our minds to listen to the practice of awakening, who vow truly not to be reborn again, swiftly and suddenly realize this truth and reach our own pure, deathless element. May everyone be so. If you're interested in these teachings on awakening, mind observation, and transcending suffering through wisdom, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your insights in the comments, provide productive feedback, and if you find this content valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.